Another 205-pound fight, another light heavyweight fight. Now this one's really interesting as well. Jimmy Crute versus Jamahal Hill. Wow. Okay. I mean, this one interests me, and it should interest you too. If you're a fight fan, like, we've got a few really interesting fights on this card. Now, Crute is seriously impressive, man. I mean, just the fact that he has a Kimura win over Paul Craig is crazy. I mean, Paul Craig is such a high-level grappler, and that's something that I think is a slight caveat on what I think is going to happen here, because I do think that if Crute wants to win this fight against Jamahal Hill, I do think he might have to ground him, and he could, because Crute has got, I think he's got like 4 submissions, and he's very good. He's a very well-rounded fighter. His definition of well-rounded, I think he's got like 5 knockouts, like a couple of decisions, and 4 submissions. As I said, I don't know what his actual record is. I haven't got it in front of me. I've only got my notes. I didn't take notes on that, so it is what it is. But yeah, so Crute, whilst he's looked really impressive, I do think that Jamahal Hill, he's coming in as a slight underdog here, which I do get it, but also you've just got to look at how Jamahal Hill fights, because I think the reason he's coming as an underdog is he did lose to Paul Craig, which is fair. Like, Paul Craig got him in a triangle slash kind of armbar and dislocated his elbow, and then elbowed him until the red. So it went down as a TKO, which annoyed me, because I had a bet on Paul Craig by submission in that one. And so the fact it went down as a TKO, I was fucking livid. Because the reason that fight got stopped, let's be fair, was because of the broken arm. And that came as a result of the fucking triangle. So fuck you. I want my money. I want my goddamn money. I've got good odds on that as well. Because Jamahal Hill was coming in such a favourite. Pissed off, man. So that's brought back some really, really bitter memories. But anyway, moving on to this fight. I like Jamahal Hill's chances here, because, like, don't forget, he also need a brow, right? Need him into oblivion and put him away, and that one got overturned because he tested positive for weed, which is bullshit. Now, the reason I think that Jamahal Hill comes in as a slight underdog here is because you look at Crute's last fight. His last fight was against Anthony Smith. Now, what he struggled with there was the jab. Because, okay, right, the fight got stopped because of damage to the leg, and I understand that that's why the fight got finished. But when you watch that fight, it was the jab that was lighting Crute the fuck up. It was lighting him up. And Anthony Smith had a smaller reach advantage than Jamahal Hill is going to enjoy. I think Jamahal Hill offers the same problems that Anthony Smith offered Jimmy Crute, only slightly worse. I feel like Jamahal Hill, there's a little bit more danger there, if I'm totally honest. He's so fast, but also very deceptively powerful. His power is really kind of deceptive. Like, you watch how he was hitting over St. Preux. Over St. Preux started getting hit by him, and he was like, "Oh my god, that sucks. That's horrible." That he's got that kind of power where it's like you don't think he's going to hit as hard as he does, and then he cracks you, and there's a kind of visceral sound that goes with it that's just ugh. And yeah, I think that Crute, honestly, is in a little bit of trouble here, because look, Jimmy Crute, he's going to have to try and close the distance, because I think that Jamahal Hill throws that jab really, really well. There's no wind up on it. It's quick. It snaps it out there, and he keeps his opponents at range. He dictates the range. That's what Jamahal Hill's very good at doing. Now, Jimmy Crute is going to have to try and mitigate that by getting inside. That's how he's going to have to try and avoid that jab. He would do well to try and take out Jamahal Hill's legs. Jamahal Hill, he doesn't have the thickest legs in the world. Maybe there's an opening there. I think that in order to close the distance, Jimmy Crute, he's going to have to try and chop down the leg, maybe with a few calf kicks here or there. Maybe like try and use the thing that ended his fight for himself in his last outing, and try and turn that around. And because if he try and close the distance with like hooks and uppercuts, it's kind of like pick your poison. As soon as he closes the distance, then Jamahal Hill's going to start throwing those knees up the middle, and he's going to start eating some knees to the gut, and that's going to really hurt. And then Jamahal Hill will start hitting him with some board bombs, and that's how I see this one kind of going, if I'm totally honest. Now, On a side note, Darko Stosic, he did take Jamahal Hill down 6 times in their fight. Now, Crute is an elite level submission guy. You don't submit Paul Craig if you're not an elite level submission guy. And don't forget that really, I thought it was a submission that Paul Craig got on Jamahal Hill. I get it. Like, you know, he finished him with elbows because the arm was broken, but it was because the arm was broken in submission that really ended the fight. And that was, and don't forget that Jimmy Crute beat Paul Craig. I know that's not how MMA math works, but they do have an opponent in common, and one beat them and one didn't. So, I don't think... Thing is I think that, look, if Crute's going to win this fight, it's going to be a submission. And you've got that at plus 350 there. So, look, that's well worth a bet in my eyes, honestly. It's not me personally, that's not what I'm betting on, but, you know... that's a decent enough bet because, look, the openings are going to clearly be there, and Crute is very good at submissions. I think that Jamahal Hill coming as an underdog here is a good bet in and of itself, you know. 250, you're getting better than even money just on Jamahal Hill to win. And honestly, I think this is a bad stylistic matchup for Jimmy Crute. I'm a huge fan of Jimmy Crute, and you know what? He's got the Resident Evil tattoo. I love that shit, and he's just a game fighter. He's very, very good. His skill level is off the charts. However, I feel like stylistically, this is not a good fight for him because the problem is, Jamahal Hill is deceptively powerful for the speed that he throws his strikes at. He's going to be enjoying a 79-inch reach advantage. Not 79-inch reach advantage, sorry. He's going to be enjoying 79 inches of reach to Jimmy Crute's 74, right? And that's a bigger differential than between Smith and Jimmy Crute. And the problem is, against Smith, Jimmy Crute, whilst it was the leg kicks that ended the fight, it was the jab that was really piecing Jimmy Crute up. And honestly, the jab is one of Jamahal Hill's best weapons. He throws it so well. There's no wind-up. He just cracks people with it. And I feel like that's what's going to happen here. I feel like it's going to be jabs until Jimmy Crute just misses enough of a step and he's going to go down. I feel like this is going to be Jamahal Hill to get the knockout / TKO. That is 3.50, and that is what I'm going with on this one. And yeah, so just like I said, these ones... I am putting my thoughts on the main event up. That's going to be on the Patreon. If you go and check it out on here. So Rob Font versus Jose Aldo, I'm going to be looking at just on the Patreon. So head on over to there because, like I said, you get exclusive early access to picks and extra content, all kinds of good stuff, and it's an absolute bargain. So if you want to support the podcast, please do go head on over there. It'd be greatly appreciated. So